Welcome to the Marvel Rivals Hardcore Ranked Challenge. The rules are pretty simple. I have to climb all the way to Grandmaster. But there's a catch. If I lose a match with a hero, they are gone forever. Can I reach the top without running out of heroes? Stick around to find out. Also, if you'd like to help me grow, leave a sub. We're 13 away from 100. Naturally, since losing a match with a hero means losing that hero forever, I wanted to make it through bronze without risking too many high tier heroes. And more so, put low tiers on the line. And what hero is better for that than Black Widow, generally the worst hero in the game, at least in my humble opinion. Since this is bronze 3, she should be enough to get us at least a handful of wins, similar to what Girl was able to do for us in last season's hardcore rank challenge, right? But I couldn't have been more wrong. That was last season. This season, people have started to adapt, picking up on the early meta, even in bronze ranks, and the sheer power of the Hulk, Iron Man, Strange comp was enough to overpower us. I know I should have been responsible for handling Iron Man as a Black Widow, but honestly, I was just not used to this matchup. Overwhelmed by Iron Man's laser beam that melted everything it came into contact with within seconds, and me not being good with a sniper at all was a clear defeat. One character down in my very first match, and this was an early wake-up call for me to start taking this more seriously than last time around. Losing Black Widow this early didn't just sting, it was a brutal reminder that I couldn't afford to take these early matches lightly. At this point, I was left thinking, bro, if Hulk, Iron Man, Strange team comps are the norm in bronze now, we're in for a hell of a ride. For those who don't know, pairing Hulk with Iron Man and Strange gives them access to their team-up ability, which significantly increases Iron Man's damage, making him borderline OP if he's not properly focused by your team. So just to be safe, I went with a much stronger pick next. Magik. Switching to Magik this early was a risk. She's my best hero, and putting her on the line so soon wasn't the plan. But with Black Widow gone and the meta in full swing, I felt pressured into picking her, since this should be the way to at least carry myself out of bronze 3. Once I've done that, I can go back to putting more low tier DPS heroes on the line. Luckily, switching back to Magik was the right call and got me out of bronze 3 more or less flawlessly. But if I had learned one thing from last season's hardcore rank challenge, it was that just insta-locking DPS and brute forcing your way through matches wasn't the way to success. But rather, you'd have to adapt to your own team comp, even if it means stepping out of your own comfort zone. So, riding my wave of confidence, I switched over to Magneto when I saw we had a Scarlet Witch on our squad, to enable that really powerful team-up ability. We started off strong, pushing the vehicle slowly but steadily. Winning teamfights one after another, and I was playing to the best of my abilities, making space for the team to advance and maintaining space whenever we were being pushed back. So, we reached the first checkpoint without major complications. However, it was somewhere around here where the enemy team started picking up the pace, not necessarily winning many teamfights, but definitely holding their position much stronger. At times, it felt like punching into a sturdy brick wall with bare knuckles. Their healing was just on top, slowing us down significantly. And another thing that complicated things for me was Strange being able to block my ult really efficiently with his shield. So I really wasn't able to make much of an impact whenever I had it ready. If you've got any advice in the comments for how to land Magito's ult more consistently to get more value out of it, I'd love to hear it. With just 90 seconds left, we finally broke their blockade and pushed to the second checkpoint. The clock reset to 3 minutes, but it still felt like a ticking time bomb. Things wouldn't get easier from here on out. Their outstanding coordination that started showing on the previous checkpoint only got better. It was a literal back and forth, determined by whoever popped their ult first. We got a good break with Mantis ult. but Star-Lord managed to squad wipe us soon after, with the clock nearing 1 minute. My ult missed again. It was a terrible misplay. I felt like I was letting my team down, just when we needed to pull together the most. The stakes were getting higher. Another Groot vs Strange ult later, we were back in control, but at what cost? We were nearing 20 seconds. A perfectly timed Psylocke ult, and they had pushed us back again. Followed up with a Luna ult, this means that for the next 14 seconds, their team is essentially unkillable. 14 seconds was a huge deal, considering time was our most valuable asset at the moment. Now we were in overtime, meaning if we wanted any chance at winning, we'd have to play it flawlessly. But things were looking up. We were now only half a meter from the goal. Rocket popped his ult. Would this be enough to push us to the finish line? Real quick guys, if you'd like to help me monetize my videos a little bit, you can check out my shop, or if that's a little bit too much for you, you can also check out my Patreon and support me with a little bit less of money. In any case, even if you're just watching until here, I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. Sadly, we fell short, literal centimeters away from the goal, meaning we had just lost one of the best tanks in the game, in one of the most tense matches I'd had in ranked so far. The wave of confidence I had ridden from those Magik matches had crashed ashore, leaving me stranded in disillusionment. This was barely bronze 2, man. Can I really get to Grandmaster without relying on Magneto from here on out? However, I still knew from last season that working around your team comp is generally the way to go, so I wasn't gonna change that. From here on out, I kept steadily climbing, adjusting my playstyle and choice of hero around what my team needed. Still, losing Magneto was definitely a demotivating experience. Halfway through bronze, we were faced with yet another tense match that raised the stakes considerably. I was playing Rocket to fill in for a missing healer. Right from the get-go, it felt like we were stopped in our tracks, advancing at a snail's pace. What we needed was one decisive squad wipe to get back on track, but we ran out of time at 90% to the first checkpoint. But if you know ranked, this isn't where it ends. There was a second round in which the roles are reversed, putting us into the place of the defenders. The common notion, echoing throughout our whole team, was that our chances at victory were slim, but not zero. And right here, with our backs against the wall, we rallied our non-verbal team spirit and brought out the best in each one of us. We started off well. I tried to keep everyone healthy and dish out some damage here and there. Our tanks and DPS were doing a good job at pressuring them, and we did manage to hold them inside the gates, at least for some time. You see, the Star-Lord had gotten a good flank on us. Naturally, I was busy missing my shots on him, but when I turned around, my team had vanished, concluding our first teamfight in a loss. And since we had only pushed our vehicle by such a little bit last round, we had to race to get back to it before the enemies could push it far enough to reach the win condition. Luckily, we managed to get there, just in time to put up one last effort to throw together our best attempt at a teamfight. Everybody was scattered and things got messy, but somehow we managed to stay in it, at least until around the 2-minute mark, where I got caught up in a fight inside this building, separating me from my team, rendering me unable to heal, and so our team faced yet another defeat. Although we managed to put up a better fight this time around than in the first round, it still wasn't enough. 3 heroes down in bronze rank. If this was what it took to scrape by here, what would it take to survive silver? There's a sliver of hope though. This season 2 new heroes joined the roster, and later on in the season 2 more are coming. So yes, we did lose 3 so far, but 4 new ones are coming in their place. And if we can rely on the track record so far, the next 2 heroes are going to be just as strong as the ones recently released. One more victory with Magik had put me exactly 1 win away from silver, and to kick off the match I selected Magik. Surely she's my best bet at winning this, but I'd quickly be faced with a different reality. Them capturing the first point early and having a Penny Parker made it really difficult for me to engage. This led to us losing the first round. Luckily, this was a best of 3 format, which meant we had at least one more chance to make things right and adapt to mistakes from the previous round. And 2 things were clear for me. For one, Magik was not the way to go. She was simply countered too hard by a good Penny. And second, our team needed an actual tank to hold the frontline and establish ourselves on the point. Although I was hesitant, having just lost Magneto a few matches prior, if nobody else was going to, I needed to step up and pick Doctor Strange, the best tank in the game, since I didn't have much practice with any other tanks. This was our best shot at winning, and this is how it went. We pushed to the point, and even though we ate 2 ults in our face, in rapid fire succession, we managed to establish ourselves on the point first. Using my Doctor Strange ult, I was able to take out this overextending Luna, breaking the backbone of the enemy's team, allowing us to further build on our dominance. From here on, it was a matter of maintaining space for the team and not letting the enemy approach. Easier said than done, cause on their next push, for the second time in a row, they fired off 2 ults at once, managing to push us back out of the point, but with 2 counter ults of our own, we quickly regained the upper hand. At this point, I felt both confident and reassured that picking Doctor Strange was exactly what our team needed to establish itself in this matchup. And so we took the second match point from them. Now it was just a matter of keeping up this momentum and take it over into the third and final match. This would decide whether we make it into silver or we lose the best tank in the game for the rest of the challenge. For the third match, I decided to portal our team to high ground to establish ourselves on the point quickly and let our healers take a safer off angle. And it worked. At least for some time, until a Magik ult tore through our backline, Penny Parker managed to establish her spider nest on the point, and a good timed Luna Snow ult allowed them to push forward, winning their first team fight for this match and taking control over the zone. But nothing was decided yet. The key to getting back on top was pushing coordinated as a team, which in solo queue ranked can often be too much to ask. Plus, the way they had established themselves on the point looked nothing but intimidating. Still, I did my best to lead our team push, to try and take down their reign over the point. And with our team playing at their A game, taking out key targets one after another, we managed to regain control over the point. Both teams now had roughly 50% capture progress. But we had the clear advantage, having control over the zone. It was just a matter of fending off the enemy's attempts at pushes and maintain a good formation, and that's exactly what we did. Until one good timed Jeff ult ripped through our team, with me narrowly avoiding it. But thanks to our Penny, who killed Jeff, it came to nothing. This could have been a turning point and a potential setup for a comeback on their side. But no, we managed to hold the point without any more major complications, and so our Doctor Strange was able to survive another day. Ooh, let's go. Ooh. Alright, let's go. Thank you so much for watching. If you actually made it to the end, that's actually crazy. Stay tuned if you'd like to see if I can make it all the way to Grandmaster without losing all my heroes first.